Hey guys, Corey, Faymus Media, and I just wanted to wish all my subscribers and everyone who follows my channel a very Merry Christmas. I do have a surprise for you. I have been asked so many times to make a log profile for Nikon, and I have done that, and it looks fantastic. And I'm going to be giving this log file updates like I do for the Canon users. A lot of people have downloaded my C-Log, my custom C-Log profile for all Canon cameras, which was tested on the 5D Mark IV and 1DX Mark II extensively. I'll put the link down there in the information box as well as a link to that video. But now I've got my same custom curve from the Canon cameras in the Nikon cameras, and it's definitely an improvement over Nikon's flat profile, which is a little too saturated in the shadows. And I've fixed and tweaked the curve on the highlights, and it's going to give you quite a bit more range than the regular flat profile. So what I'm going to do here, this is your guys' Christmas gift to you. I've been spending countless hours over the last 3 weeks to create the best profile I could. It's going to be right down there in the information box, a link to download it. Like I said, with the Canon log profile I made, with the amount of time I put into it, I feel $20 is totally fair. So it's $20 to get the profile, but it's going to have updates on a regular basis. I'm going to be tweaking things. So I'm going to record, I'm testing out on the new 24-70 VR and the D750 Nikon's flat profile. And just remember, if you want to use these custom profiles, I'm going to put the instructions in the information box below, but you want to make sure that you save it to a custom folder on the memory card. And then when you save it to that folder, it's going to be CUSTOMPC and then a Nikon folder. And I'm going to actually put that in the information box below, the exact instructions. When you do that, you're going to go into the picture menu and you're going to load that custom profile in. And then when you're in video, you're going to go to the video menu for custom picture profiles, and you're going to select use photo profile, which I'll show you in a minute. But let's do a test with Nikon's flat profile. And I'm going to shoot it at 320 ISO roughly, maybe a little bit less. So this is Nikon's flat profile right here, and you'll notice that the shadows are really not quite flat enough for log. They're kind of crushed, sort of. Not quite, but they're just not quite there. I like their flat profile, but I've made much improvements over it. So here we go to my profile, and this is my log profile at the exact same ISO 200. You're going to get a lot more room in the shadows. And then what I'm going to do next is I am going to darken the image just a little bit. I'm going to pull the ISO down and then back up. Watch my histogram, and you can see that you can really push without clipping to about 400, but you really increase a lot of dynamic range in the shadows. So I'm going to get a screenshot of these two to illustrate side by side. It's a little more saturated and a little bit more contrasty. So I've eliminated that and made more of a true log. So here we go, looking at the Nikon Flat first. You can see that it's a little bit crushed in the shadows. Not too bad, definitely better than standard profile, but you can see the middle whites on my log, much better, more dynamic range in the shadows, and retains all the same details in the highlights, if not even more, giving you more dynamic range. You can see side by side how much more dynamic range and much better the curve is on my log. And then once we go ahead and look at my log one more time ungraded, get a final image of that, and then we're going to go ahead and grade it and add some sharpening, and you can see all the details that have been retained and how much dynamic range you're going to get, although the D750 is only 1080p, so it doesn't look as sharp as the footage that's filming me. Okay, so when you want to load your custom picture profile, you go to the photo settings, go to Manage Picture Control, Load Save, and then Copy to Camera. Of course, I don't have nothing here, so I can't load. but you're going to be able to select it, rename it. You have 15 spots for a custom profile. Then you're going to want to go back to the video mode, and you're going to want to go to Set Picture Control and set it to same as photos. It will not show up in the menu below. You'll only get Nikon's Flat. Go to same as photos, and then when you do that, anything you switch in the information button right here, I'll go back to live view. Anything when you press the info button and hit OK on picture profile, all your custom logs will come up here once you've set it like that. So hopefully you guys have found this to be exciting news. You now have true log, or as close to true log as you're going to get for a Nikon camera. It even improves upon Nikon's already pretty good flat profile by enhancing the shadow curves, bringing up the true middle whites, and kind of curving off the highlights to give you as much room as you can dynamic range. There's no way for me to know how much dynamic range you're going to get, but Nikon already has great sensors, and pretty much all their DSLRs, especially the D750, are well into the 14 stops dynamic range true raw shooting. So it wouldn't be hard to say in this log profile that you guys could achieve 13 easily. There's no way to say for sure, but I've compared it with Canon's C-Log, which is technically 12, and I've compared it against the C300 Mark II, which their C-Log 2 is 15 stops, and this compares pretty well. So I'm going to estimate it probably between 13 and 13.5 easily. So for a DSLR, that's at least 2 stops above a normal DSLR, maybe even 3 stops above, because most DSLRs in just a regular picture profile mode with saturation and contrast turned down are only going to achieve 9 to 10. Nikon's flat, you might get 10.5 to 11, maybe 12 in some circumstances, and there are other picture profiles in the web that say you're achieving 10, 11, and 12. I've compared my profile to theirs, and there's at least a stop and a half over their 12 setup. So like I said, this is in the 13 range, which is really good, but there's no way to accurately say how much. But when you film with it, you're going to see that it is very true log look for your Nikon camera. So hopefully you guys are excited about that. Merry Christmas to everybody. This is my gift to everyone here, to now have, in time for Christmas, log profile for your Nikon DSLR, which was extensively tested on the Nikon D750. It will work on the D810, the D800, D800E, D4, D4S, and D5. No worries, it will work on all of them and get you that full log that you can maximize your efficiency out of Nikon. Once again, guys, Corey with Faymus Media, happy shooting. Links are below, and I will see you after Christmas going into the New Year's. Happy shooting.